So clearly they endured something pretty intense.
There was 2 women
Yes.
and 7 guys. So
Right.
to me, that's a problem already. Especially
Eyebrows missing, burn marks,
Mhm.
eyeballs missing, tongue missing. You know,
the bones decaying to that degree in just 4 years. I just don't see that type of decay going.
there's just so much that's off about on both sides. Both sides seem real suspect. I know it's the South, so maybe dental records are a bit trickier down there because they only have maybe 1 or 2 teeth to identify them by.
Have you guys ever had that? Like you've driven by a house out in the middle of nowhere, you're like, oh, I wonder who lives there. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be one of those. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to JG's Lounge. We're back with another. There you go, Ev.O.Lution. You got the Ev.O.Lution request sent. To blocking it again, Patrick. Man, I requested all of you to unmute. There we go. Is everybody back?
Am I
Patrick's
back? Am I
back. You're back. Sean's back.
I-
We're good.
Yeah, I'm back because I can read.
I can read, I just can't see. I don't have my glasses.
You like Sean?
Thank you, everybody, for tuning back in to another show here on JG's Lounge. We're figuring it out slowly but surely. Well, most of us are figuring it out. We're back with another episode of Singed Eye Sockets with our 2 co-hosts. We got Ev.O.Lution. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Got a little bit of rest today, so I'm excited about the Journey 2 coming out here pretty soon.
It
so
is. It is.
really
I'm
looking
almost done
forward
with
to that.
it. I'm really excited about it. It's definitely a little step up from the first one.
Very
Next
good.
up, we've got Sean Shank, man. How you doing?
To be perfectly frank, I'm sore as shit. I am sore as shit. I started coaching a college wrestling program, and these kids are in their 20s. I am 49, and my body is just like, what the f- are you doing, dude?
That's fair. I don't know. I've never really coached wrestling. I don't know that I ever could. I did wrestling 1 season in middle school, and I won 1 match, and that's because the guy didn't show up.
Nice.
Hey,
A win's a win.
Let's see, W in the column, baby.
And then we got our guest tonight. He's been on one of the shows before with us. Well, he's been on a lot of the JG's Lounge shows, but he's been on one of the Cinch before. We're happy to have him back. Patrick, man, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Enjoying my paid medical leave.
I know that too well.
So yeah.
You recently on St. Patty's Day did a charity comedy thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lawrence, Kansas at Elmo's Pub or Elmo's Bar did about 15 minutes to. Okay, Sean. We'll do a little sidebar here, but Sean, you're an established comedian, so you'll know this. This was a bar show that went well. And so bar shows are notorious for sucking. People don't want to pay attention. People just want to watch TV. People they don't give a shit about comedy. We had that in the back of the pub, but in the front there was a table of 4, 2 couples, and then there was this one lady sitting at the bar. Those 5 people came and they came to laugh, and they laughed so hard that I was just like, I don't give a shit about everybody else. I even pointed it out. I was like, okay, I'm not even looking around the bar. I'm looking at you guys because you're the only motherfuckers paying attention.
Nice.
They made the show totally worthwhile. Yeah, it was a blast. It was a good bar show.
Yes.
Something that,
Wow.
that's like the unicorn of. It's like a good charity event. It's
It just doesn't happen, frankly.
no. So. I will be back there for anybody in the Lawrence, Kansas area, greater Kansas City area. I will be back there doing 20 minutes at the Elmo Showcase on the 27th. So a week from tomorrow, it's at 10:30.
Nice.
We got a few people on the network on Facebook that are in the Lawrence and Kansas City area. There's quite a few of them. So yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I mean, if we're doing this, then for
plug your
those
shit.
in Lawrence, Kansas, I will be in Muskegon, Michigan this Friday So
I actually do have a lot of underground Laugh Lounge crew that follow me as well on Facebook.
Nice,
Follow us,
nice.
So that's
Yeah.
no, I want the commuters from Kansas to come see my show.
We'll caravan. They'll come to my
Yeah,
show, and
that's
then we'll
right.
all drive up to yours.
Carpool. We'll carpool. That'd be a pretty cheap carpool. I think we could probably get like, how many think you would show? Like 5 or 6? We just pair up.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm worth the drive, folks.
Get your claws out.
That I believe. All right. So everybody's got their stuff plugged. Journey 2 is almost wrapped up. That's exciting. And then there's going to be a Journey 3 coming.
Yes,
it's kind
sir.
of fun doing
Nice.
like biographies. I don't even know if it's like a biography, but it's like Ev.O.Lution's journeys to the Philippines each time he goes and like the progress.
Documentary.
Yeah, I'd say it's more of a documentary. Anybody tuning in right now, feel free to jump in the commentary. We're going to be doing a deep dive on a guy named Lawrence Bader, aka Larry Bader.
He was a master.
He was something.
I'm trying to find out a way to angle that joke, and
you're gonna find lots of jokes in this because there's a few things I left out till the end, which you guys know me, I kind of just do that. But let's kind of dive in here. So it's 1926. Larry's born in Akron, Ohio. They corrected me before the show. I guess it's Akron, Ohio, which is kind of like the suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in like a wealthier area, very outdoorsy, wore a lot of buckskin clothes, was in archery. He dropped out of high school. I didn't get a lot of like his childhood because there wasn't a lot to dig up. But that's really not the point of what we're going to be discussing tonight. He did drop out of high school to join the Navy. After about 18 months, he came home and did a semester at Akron University. But before he worked at a campus restaurant where he learned to bartend. Fast forward to 1957. So we're jumping quite a bit here. Larry is a kitchen appliance salesman. He's married to a lady named Mary Lou. So Larry and Mary Lou have 3 children and one on the way. They live in a wealthier neighborhood in West Hills in Akron, Ohio. May 15th, 1957. Larry tells his wife he has to go see about a few bad checks that were written to him. Again, he's a kitchen appliance salesman, so people write bad checks. And then he might go fishing. So far all we know is, he's an average guy. There's not really anything. A lot of his friends say that he's just easy to like to drink beer. He's easy to have conversations with, love to tell stories. And do what? Oh, I thought you were talking to me, Patrick.
I didn't say a thing.
I thought you said something. Is your dog talking? Oh, you know what? I bet you it's Ev.O.Lution, your background.
Yes, it's my background.
It's all good. Anyways, so that afternoon, Larry goes and deals with his checks, and then he goes to a place called Rocky River Livery. Is it livery or livery?
Livery.
Livery. Near Cleveland. The owner said that although the weather was calm, there was a storm coming, and Larry wanted to rent a boat. He advised against it, and Larry was very insistent about getting a boat. The owner also acknowledged that Larry had a suitcase with him, and he took it with him with the boat. And at 4:30, Larry went on to Lake Erie. 3 hours later, a storm hits, and Larry's gone. He never comes home. The following day, Coast Guards find the boat at Perkins Beach, which is about 5 miles from where he set out. The body had minor scratches, a bent propeller. The only things that were really missing were one of the oars, Larry, and his suitcase. So far, what do you guys have to throw in here?
I would like to go first.
Yes.
There was a movie in the late 80s, early 1990s with Julia Roberts called Sleeping with the Enemy, and this sounds really, really close to the beginning of that movie. I don't want
That's
to cast
fair.
any aspersions on the rest of your story, but man, Larry.
You guys
probably
will
away from
easily
Mary.
find out what's going on here. So,
I'm throwing out a guess there. But there's one more thing I do want to mention.
uh-huh.
I did study up on this a bit before the cast, and you know Larry had a brother named Garth.
I knew he had siblings. Yes.
Darth Vader.
The Garth part, no. I did know he had siblings because they are mentioned in this, but I don't think that's the correct name.
It took me a second, but oh my god.
I do want to acknowledge that Vinny said this episode could use some more stalking talk. Last episode. That was the last episode.
Oh, hey, Vinny, if you're still watching, comment the name of your book because I want to pick it up.
Nice.
Yeah, I can actually send you the direct link to it.
Oh, that'll work.
Even better. Even better.
But you know what, Vinny? People will see the comments, so throw it out there anyways.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Vinny was on our last show,
I'm-
consistently inconsistent.
Can I mention my book
No.
while we're on here?
Of course
Sure.
you can.
Okay, so I just got this book and it's mine. It's called Behind the Beautiful Forevers by Catherine Boo. I didn't write it, but I own it, so it's my book. I just want to show it to you guys.
How is it? Is it a good read?
It's one of the best stories. It's okay. So it is a creative nonfiction about life in the slums behind luxury hotels in India. And it is
Nice.
one of the most heartbreaking, awesome stories ever written. That woman is a freaking genius.
All right. Evolution, what do you got so far based off what little information I've told you?
Well, I really don't have much. It just seems like the guy went fishing and came up missing
Yeah.
with the storm and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of waiting for a little bit more so I can dig off deep into it.
Mhm. The Coast Guards did say that due to how rough the storm was, it was pretty much impossible if somebody was tossed overboard to survive. So he did. He was presumed dead by the local authorities. It took 2 years for them to actually, say you're dead. He was officially dead for his wife Mary Lou to claim his life insurance. Because if somebody goes missing, unless there's proof that they are deceased,
Right.
you can't just get their money. You can't just get that life insurance. I don't know if anybody knows how that stuff works, and even I don't know 100%. But that kind of sucks for her because she's stuck with these fourth kid on the way. By this time, she's had the fourth kid. She's struggling. Not a lot of this is about Mary Lou. She'll pop up here and there, but so far that's what I got. Returning from the so we're jumping forward 4 days. So returning from the Navy just 4 days after, a man by the name of John Fritz Johnson enters the Round Table Bar in Omaha, Nebraska, asking for a bartending job. I'm sure you guys are going to start piecing this together pretty quick. He liked classical music and archery, bought a hearse, and had a built-in lounge area in the back. He was well-liked in town. And he was doing stuff like raising money for a polio charity where he sat on a flagpole for 30 days. So he really kind of built this, eccentric likeness to him from the town. A lot of people liked him. He had a very similar personality to Larry.
I'm sure.
In 1959, so this is 2 years after, he became a local radio host in Omaha. Let's keep going down here. By 1961, so he goes from being in a married life to deceased, and now this other guy shows up, and he quickly climbs the ladder to like this very well-known, publicly recognized figure. By 1961, he is married to a lady named Nancy Zimmer, who had a stepdaughter, and then they had a son together. He ended up getting a job at a local TV station where he became the sports director. And he continued to excel at archery and told people that he took it on as a hobby to help with his back injury from the Navy. I want to take a little pause right here as I keep flying through this and see what you guys got.
Well, it's starting to line up for sure. Especially with the archery. Especially with the archery. Yeah, this is pretty much starting to sound like the identical person that we were speaking about before.
Okay.
What you
Sleeping
got,
with the
Patrick?
enemy. Sleeping with the enemy. One. Two, this guy has amazing sphincter control to sit on a pole for 30 days. Like, I mean, literally the concentration that he had to have had. Because
Well, I
man,
didn't
he
know.
starts
Apparently, that was
slipping.
I didn't know that was an actual thing. Like a flagpole sitter was an actual thing.
I wonder if that Harvey Danger song is about him. No, I'm being serious. You know the song I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know. It's just I'm appreciating this is obscure reference podcast night.
Okay.
Sorry, my dog came barging in here. Go.
I will say on the first part, shit, we lost him. I will say on the first part of what you were, the first part when you went fishing, I know when I go fishing, I always bring my suitcase with me.
Exactly. The same here.
It could have been.
Well, I
an
threw that in there because
Shit.
it kind of throws things off though. Because like the more I get into it, either this guy's a complete moron, or he legitimately. Well, I'm not going to keep talking, but we'll tell you later. Anyway, what do you think, Sean?
Well, so what was the new guy's name?
John
Very
Fritz
labor.
John Fritz Johnson. He was
John
very
Fritz
clever with the name John Fritz Johnson. He went by Fritz.
Okay, John Fritz Johnson. Okay, and then Larry and Mary. I just noticed a lot of alliteration in.
And then Fritz
Mhm.
marries Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Zimmer, Nancy Zimmer. It's great names.
I again, this just. Do you guys know what I'm talking about with the sleeping into with the enemy reference?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it, but it had to be like two
Long
decades
time
ago.
ago. Yeah, long time
Okay,
ago.
so basically, Julia is getting, abused, domestic abuse by her husband, who's a complete control freak, narcissist, beating the shit out of her all the time. So she fakes her death by going out on a boating trip, and she gets washed away at sea. But she comes back and starts a whole new life in another town and everything. And this just, I'm telling you from the very beginning, reeks of it. But if this guy's trying to start a new life, being high profile, like literally climbing ladders to get on poles and being involved in sports entertainment and everything is not really the way to lay low. So that's what
No,
I'm saying right now.
All right.
no.
Right. Yeah. No.
So-
And that's the other thing. That's like you said, lay low. He's not doing that. You know, and Omaha is only about 800 miles from where he set off to Lake Erie.
Yeah, but this was back in the 50s and 60s. 800 miles is one thing today, but back then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the cars didn't go, and train rides. So, yeah, he could bet 200 miles and they wouldn't have known.
Right. What were you going to say, Evolution?
Well, I'm connecting the dots here. Of course, I already said something about the archery connection, but there's also a military connection. And this guy is a radio personality, which that's where I think the issue is, because even though he's 800 miles away, a lot of people back then, their entertainment was listening to the radio. So if his ex-wife, of course,
Well, not
would
even
pick up-
ex-wife, because he never got divorced. He just disappeared.
True, but he was pronounced dead. So she knows his voice, right?
Right.
So if she could pick that up, she could basically put two and two together. But yeah, he's not laying low at all. He's not doing much thinking in this one.
Unless he was a morning radio host. Because then it would be, hey, Fritzy in the morning! And there'd be kazoos and slide whistles and shit, It'd be like Fritzy in the scrotum. Hey, welcome to Fritzy in the scrotum. It's Sunday morning.
I did pick up during the research that during this time that Lake Erie was actually extremely polluted, and I think at one point the lake itself actually lit on fire.
Yep.
So
Wow.
it was very.
It was so polluted that one part of it, went ablaze.
So for them to think that he was dead it's pretty easy to kind of just come up to that assumption, not just because of the storm, but by the pollution of the water.
Right.
Well, if we know anything about Lake Erie, she never gives up her dead. At least that's what I've heard.
Like any of the lakes, if anybody's been up to like those lakes up in that area, they're massive.
Sean lives by one. I used to, Lake Michigan.
Yeah, I visited Grand Rapids, and I'm not sure what lake that is, but it was. It looks like the damn ocean. It's huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just up there last summer. We popped up there after Riot Fest.
All right, yeah.
Lake Erie never gives up her dead. Nobody's ever heard of Gordon Lightfoot. For fuck's sake, people.
I've never heard of
Gordon Lightfoot. The whole thing. Restart the whole thing.
Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
Thank you.
I thought it was Lake Michigan. I'm sorry.
No, go on with your little story.
All right, I'm going to continue here. Okay, all right. So Larry's love for archery ends up leading him to a second part-time job as an advisor for archery companies. So he travels to trade shows and demonstrates their stuff. And Sean's over here cracking up. What you got, man? Why you let this? Is this also part of sleeping with the enemy? Is this part of sleeping with the enemy?
No, because she did not go. I'm going to take a job where I have to travel, where people that knew me might see me. No, keep going. This guy's a moron.
Well, that's why I'm like, man, I don't know if this dude's like legitimately just a moron or if he has no idea. But anyways.
I'm thinking he might have drank the water.
So in 1964, Fritz is a local celebrity doing really well. He ends up with a malignant brain tumor, which is found behind his eye, and then unfortunately they have to remove it.
Wow.
But that actually only increases his celebrity status. Him wearing an eye patch on TV,
of course,
just kind of boosted his numbers. All right. Yeah, we are cruising. We're doing pretty good. It's 22 minutes already. February 2nd, 1965. Fritz is at a sporting goods show in Chicago for an archery company. An Akron local was also at the show and was suspicious about Fritz as soon as he heard him talk. And he ends up looking at him. And instead of just talking to him, he calls his niece, Suzanne Pica, which is who comes down. She flies down there. I'm guessing it was like a weekend long thing. It doesn't really specify, but
archery expos. They're wild. They're 5-6 days. There's just so much to cover.
Yeah, because there ends up being multiple people that come to be like, no, this is you.
Well, in the 60s and 70s, you had that persimmon to titanium big crossover. It was a wild time in archery.
Well, and don't forget all the TED Talks, Fletching and you. I mean, God, that's hours of entertainment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How to hang your target. That was compelling shit.
How did the guy? First of all, how the hell did the guy from Akron recognize him anyway? Because I would see that and be like, it kind of sounds like Larry. Yeah. But Larry was never a pirate.
Yes.
I'm just assuming everybody from Akron is stupid.
He did go to the sea or the lake. He can't transform.
He got that brain tumor from drinking the water along with his memory loss.
Yeah. There you go.
I'll be at the archery convention.
So anyways, Suzanne ends up flying down there to see it for herself, and she confronts him saying, hey, aren't you my lost uncle from 8 years ago? He laughs confused, and she says he's not. He said, I'm Fritz. I'm John Fritz. And she's insisting like, hey, no, you're my uncle. So she takes him. He willingly goes with her to a phone where she calls Larry's other siblings, and they talk to him on the phone, and they're like, no, you're like, this is you. So they fly down there.
Wow.
Yes. And they confirm.
He stuck around. He waited.
Yeah. No, he's willingly doing all of these things.
Gee. He must have bumped his head when he fell out the boat.
Just oh,
So after they fly to Chicago, he meets up with them. The brother's like, "No, you're definitely our brother," and he still denies that. He's like, "I've never even been to Akron, Ohio."
I've been to
He-
Akron.
Acorn, Ohio. Acorn, Ohio. They spelled it wrong, guys. Fritz did tell a reporter that one of them had a striking resemblance and similar voice to him. Shocking. He agrees to go to the police station with the brothers, where the FBI is sent fingerprints, and they compare it to his naval fingerprints. And of course, they're the same guy. I'm
Gee.
shocked. I'm sure you guys are so shocked.
What are the odds?
He still denies it. He still denies any connection with anything to do with Akron, Ohio. He says that he would have never agreed to the fingerprints if he knew about it. If he was like knowingly trying to hide it, he never would have done any of these things.
What? Come on. I mean, you knew they were about to do the fingerprint, right? I mean, you could have been like, "Oh, let me go to the restroom." And
there are rare
disappear.
amnesia cases. I mean, there's very rare. I'm not trying to defend this dude. To me, it sounds like he's just a moron. But assuming that there was some crazy accident on the boat and he somehow got amnesia, there are cases where it does happen.
Okay, sleeping with the enemy, overboard.
Archery. It makes sense.
McHale's Navy. Okay, what was his rank in the Navy? Did you find
I didn't find any of that out.
There
he wasn't in the
He only did
military
18.
very long.
No, he only did 18 months.
So he didn't achieve the rank of Master Chief, right?
There's nothing in there about what his rank was.
I got it.
What you got?
No,
he understands.
No, I know. I get that he gets it, but I don't get it. So please explain my ignorance.
His last name is Master Bader, and we're saying Master over and over. Master Bader.
Oh.
So when they're saluting him, Master Bader.
No,
Gotcha.
He's probably only a petty seaman.
So Larry returns to Omaha. He still insists he has clear memories of growing up as an orphan in Boston and serving 2 years in the Navy, but that never happened. He's hospitalized for 10 days, and they do several mental studies on him, and doctors couldn't determine that he was willfully deceiving anybody, which kept him from being charged with fraud or bigamy.
Bro, I got an icon on that, bro.
I can Ev.O.Lution. I hear your kid in the background just saying random stuff, and it's hilarious.
Dude.
It's all good, man.
Oh,
You
it's
barely
fine.
hear it. It's just funny. Yes, you got to icon that, bro.
You got a busy household right here. On one end is a podcast show, and on the other end is
Right.
video games.
No, you're good.
Online competition.
I just had to shove my dog out the door, so I got you. Man.
Right?
You're good.
I got my cat in there.
Yeah. And Sean's over there like, you guys should just keep going with this show.
I'm just being very well behaved over here.
So while in the hospital, he does make a statement that he must assume that he is still married to Mary Lou, and he needs to stay separated from Nancy.
Ooh.
And shocking.
Ooh.
Shocking. What you got, Sean?
No, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, how
A lot.
Hey, you had a kid with her too. Yeah, like
He's a pole sitter. What do you expect?
touching my brain. All he had to do was pull the W.C. Fields with, "Get away from me, kid. You bothered me." Just like when she was coming, "You're my uncle." No, the fuck I'm not. Get away from me. I'm going to call security. Right? And then when she's going to get somebody, get out of there.
Yeah.
Go away. You know, just leave. But no, he's like, I'll willingly go with you here, and I'll meet the rest of the family. I mean, like,
What an idiot.
I feel like had this
yes.
been like 3 or 4 decades later, he wouldn't have gotten as far as he did.
No.
No,
No,
sir.
no.
Especially with being a radio host or any sort of celebrity in any kind of size town.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Okay, I got to
Like-
hear the rest of this. What happens to this
okay,
moron?
so all right, we're actually about done. It's only been half an hour, but it's all good. Nancy obviously is very confused and ends up getting their marriage annulled. Mary Lou makes a statement saying that she is part of the Catholic Church that does not believe in divorce and that her
Oh,
kids
good
need a
grief.
father.
Come on.
She's
Okay,
done too.
okay. Let's sit there for a second because I get it.
This is
but
8 years, by the way, everybody. I just want you to know this is
Right.
8 years.
If you can't catch the hint on that one, I don't think your religion. Maybe your religion is that big to you, but after something like that occurs, you just gotta let that one go. You just gotta
And
let that one go.
if they found the guy, the first thing you want to do is murder him,
Yeah,
make him disappear.
I mean collect again, right?
That was the question I was just about to ask, though.
Yeah.
What about the insurance money? Because now that he's come back,
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So the IRS does come after him for all of that. Yeah. So they're coming after him for that. It says that let's see here. Fritz was terminated from the local TV station in Omaha. He continued as a bartender. In August, Mary Lou and the children reunite with him, and he still insists he has no idea of any of them.
Wow, that would suck for his
yes.
kids. You know, it would suck for his wife,
Yes.
but it would definitely suck for the kids. You know what I'm saying?
So
that's messed up.
Before I throw the last little bit of information in here, do you guys think this was intentional or he actually did have amnesia?
I'll take the first stab at this. Because of the tumor, I think maybe that might have had some effects on his brain function. But that's the only thing I can give him. You know, anything other than that, maybe he bumped his head hard when he fell out the boat and drank some of the water. But outside of that, this guy was just really stupid. That's what I got.
Well, my biggest part that throws me off here is how invested he was in growing as a celebrity in the community. Like if he was trying to hide, you think he either would have went further away or been a little bit more secretive about his identity, like him in general.
Yeah.
What do you guys got?
You want to go or you want me to go, Sean?
No, go for it, Pat, because I'm still organizing my thoughts on this.
Okay. So we just did the idiom show earlier in the week. Here's an idiom: pride goeth before the fall. I think this motherfucker was so cocky that he thought he was going to get away with all this bullshit. He's like, "Oh yeah, sure. I'll talk to the family. I'll get fingerprinted. Sure, bring your mom out here. I'll have sex with her, and she can compare what it's like. It's gonna be different." I swear, this son of a bitch thought he was going to get away with it. And the whole celebrity thing. I think, because if he got knocked on the head and got amnesia, how the fuck does he end up in Omaha from Akron?
Right.
Yeah. It's Acorn. We clarified this as Acorn.
He ended up in a Akron hospital. So he made it out there, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I got away with that. Oh, they want me to be this little radio host. I got away with that. Oh, I could be on TV. I got away with that. I got away." And and his ego is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, I just think that he was a cocky fuck that got busted. Now, was it wife 2 that divorced him or annulled?
Yeah, wife 2 annulled it.
The second one did.
And wife 1 was bonded by this archaic bond.
The Catholic religion.
Yeah.
Well, we got married once, and he only beats me a little bit, so it's good. It's what Jesus wants.
He had
Spare,
what?
spare
But
the rod, beat the wife, right?
he didn't touch her for the last 8 years. So don't get me
But I just think that this guy is just a cocky fucker, and he got busted.
Right.
Jeez.
What you got, Sean?
Well, first of all, I am a little bit upset with the three of you.
Good.
Catholic religion as a whole, because any good Catholic woman knows how to take a punch, first of all. Second of all,
I bet you guys later.
second of all, I am 100% in line with Pat, and I will tell you why. And it's not just because of his glorious beard. If it weren't for one thing, I could buy into the tumor excuse. I really could, because like when my mom, before she passed, her lung cancer metastasized and went to her brain, and we got to sit courtside to watch memories change and personality change and all this other stuff, and see like the sundowning and going in and out of who she was into what she became. Like, got to watch it happen, so I can get that. Except for one thing, the suitcase.
Hmm.
The suitcase
Hmm.
makes it makes no damn sense on the boat, and he was so insistent about it.
Yep.
It was pre-planned. I'm sorry, but it's just, I don't believe in coincidences. And if he had just not done that, I mean, why bring a suitcase, dude? Just if
Right.
you're gonna leave it all behind, leave it all behind.
I don't know if you know this, but back in like that time frame, instead of using tackle boxes to fish, they use suitcases.
You must not know my mind.
I'm sorry. What did your side commentator say there? Because that, I think it's very important conversation.
Throw all your lures and your hooks and your pole gear all in your tackle in your suitcase and just go fishing, man. It's
You
a
can
thing.
tell the pros because they had the steamer trunk.
And if you're not wearing a buckskin jacket, you're definitely doing it wrong.
Yeah. So I think this guy was just the epitome of hubris.
Mm-hmm.
And thought that he could get away with it all. So much so that in the midst of getting caught red-handed by the niece, he leaned into it like, I'll get away with this. No, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the last bit of information I have, which just kind of hits the nail on the head. Before his disappearance, Larry did have quite a bit of debt and had not paid his taxes in 5 years. The day of him renting the boat, on top of dealing with the bad checks, Larry also raised and paid in full his life insurance premium. The following day, when the boat was found, the Coast Guards also acknowledged that the boat was out of gas and the gas line had been disconnected, which is not something that just happens by accident. And then in September of 1966, so just shortly after Mary Lou meets back up with him, he dies from cancer returning to his lungs.
Okay, so go ahead.
No,
I'm good. No, go ahead.
Okay, here's what I was going to say. This guy is so cocky. This motherfucker's walking around Omaha in a University of Akron shirt, and he's like, I've never been to Akron. Go zip.
What does that tattoo on your chest say? Akron?
Okay, so I'm gonna go here. A kitchen appliance salesman, probably not the best profession to have back then or now. It just didn't seem like they had a lot of money from the beginning, especially when he was complaining about the bad checks. But now that you give us all this solid information, definitely the part about him raising the life insurance policy and paying up on it, it was definitely premeditated, for sure. For sure.
I agree. Sean, what do you think? You got any last words on this?
Yeah, this guy.
Are you still thinking sleeping with the enemy?
Oh, dude, I called it from the beginning.
You did.
Instead of it being Mary being an asshole, this guy's is just an idiot. He's a narcissistic idiot and was just trying to find a way out. Maybe there was some shred of good in him that he upped the insurance policy to make sure that Mary and the kiddos were taken care of. So, good on him, I guess. But, just
no, because like he was as much of an idiot as he was. Maybe he didn't realize that she wasn't going to get that money.
It took 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
still, she got it. I'm not trying to sing his praises. I'm just saying, like, the one only redeeming quality aside from his archery skills is the fact that he did that. Outside of this guy just sounds like a con man. That's really all this boils down to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you think about it, look at it. This just popped in my head when Ev.O.Lution was talking, which I think it's adorable that he takes notes. Because you see,
he is. That is one thing that everybody points out about him is he takes notes, man. It's great.
That is great.
I want to get him a little pair of glasses so he can be like, well, actually,
actually, at minute 43, you said.
But what Ev.O.Lution said, him being a appliance salesman or whatever. First off, appliance lasted forever back then.
Yeah.
So you kind of sold to a family once, and that was it. But the other thing is, it's not an exciting job. And look what he did when he moved to Omaha. He became a bartender, which is fun, and you're the life of the party, and everybody, people come to you and stuff. And then he went on to a radio host, then he went on to a TV host, then he's doing expos for fucking archery and stuff. So like I think he was bored with and the way he handled it.
Do you think it was like you're saying, like his first marriage, he just kind of got stuck in it, and he was like, I'm not happy, I got to get out of this. And
yeah,
he's like, it's not her fault, but I got to go. I'm just gonna bump up my life insurance and dip out.
Yeah, he's driving to work to Scooter and Hooters appliance shop, and he's sitting there daydreaming about being John Fitzjohn or Fitzjohn for whatever he is.
Right.
And
John Fritz.
John
okay.
Fritz,
much cooler.
Oh yeah,
Fritz in the Scrotum, man. That was a pretty popular show back in the day.
Blah, 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 blah. Fritz in the scrotum.
Thanks for tuning in to your 6 a.m. traffic.
Hey, traffic in Omaha is not as bad as it is in Akron, so I hear. I ain't never been there.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Well, yeah, that's what I got. I wanted something a little bit lighthearted. We've had some pretty intense episodes for Singed lately, and this was a little twist on it, the whole amnesia concept. I would like to find one where amnesia actually was in play, but I don't think it was in this episode.
No. Absolutely not.
And he didn't even make it to 40, so he didn't really get to live it very long. I mean, he lived it for like 6 years, really. I mean, the first 2 years, he kind of had to build it.
He had his best life away from Mary Lou, because obviously when he went back, it trickled down again.
Yeah.
It killed him. So what we gather from this is Mary causes cancer.
Ooh.
Oh, I was gonna blame Catholicism, but all right.
Because as soon as he is back under her bat wing, suffering, he gets cancer again.
I do have to say, though, women or men, don't let religion make you stay with somebody for 8 years that you don't even hear from. Like, that is absurd.
And,
well, he told me he was just going fishing. He'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, what are the conversations in the household even like at that point when he comes back home to Mary? What's he do? Just look at her when he steps across the threshold and goes,
I'm done fishing.
I caught a fish.
I had one on the line, Mary. It was this big.
It took out my eye.
Ah,
Oh man.
nice.
Oh shoot.
Had this thing hooked for 7.5 years. It was a
Ah,
beast.
Took me out of the boat. I was all over Lake Erie. It was crazy.
Maybe Mary was a horrible wife, and he was trying to get away from her. And then when she came back, he willed himself to get cancer and die.
That's what I'm saying, man.
This is the only way I'm going to
Mary.
get.
I think Mary Bader, before she was Mary Bader, might have been Typhoid Mary.
Hmm.
All
Maybe
right,
he
well,
went to work to a boring job that didn't make a lot of money and came home and Mary Lou just barked in his ear all day.
it's possible. I mean, so I imagine he probably wasn't making a ton of money living in a wealthy neighborhood. So his debt probably was racked up quite a bit. It doesn't really say how much debt he had. But I would imagine being like a kitchen appliance salesman, like Patrick said, it's not like he was having return customers.
No.
Well, I mean, it's a good theory. I mean, that if he's trying to keep up with the Joneses in the rich neighborhood and debt's stacking up and everything else, that he would piece out like that. But I don't know if it's presumptive to throw like Mary's just this nagging, horrible bitch at home where he comes home.
I was just bringing that up to be a smartass. I think this guy's a cunt.
Well, no, I mean, it's
Yes,
possible.
100%.
She could have been nightmarish enough that
Mary?
she could be. I mean, there are a few of us on this podcast who have ex-wives, okay, that we probably would have jumped in a boat and acted like we were killed to get
And
away
drank the water.
with cupfuls of Erie right in the face to get away from them.
He's like going to rent the boat. He's like, "What's the most polluted area of the lake? Can you point me in that direction?"
That's what I'm saying. It's like, because if he didn't give a shit about her, then he wouldn't have re-upped this insurance policy, even though he wasn't smart enough to understand the 2-year thing, whatever. But he did that.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe there was some sliver of him that was a decent guy, and he got away from this nightmarish wretch, and was able to start anew a happy life. But he also was egotistical and maybe stupid. Maybe he was so stupid he just thought he could get away with it, and got roped back in, and was just like, yeah, cancer.
The biggest thing that throws me off, and again, I don't know what the hospital mental exams and testing were like back in the 50s, but even the doctor, several doctors did run tests on him and said that he wasn't willingly lying about it. But again, I don't know what the testing is like. I don't know what the testing is like today, so I can't.
This is what the testing was. So, Larry, he didn't fall for it, did you, Larry? Let me just put the cigarette out on this baby.
It wasn't really a hospital; it was a mental ward. That's what it was. I don't know. That's the only thing that I didn't get.
Stable baby.
Well, that's the only thing out of it, because, like I said, they were going to charge him for fraud and bigamy, but they ruled it out. They say that he wasn't willingly lying about it,
even though the hospital said that he was.
No, the hospital was saying that he was not willingly lying about it.
No,
the doctor said he was not.
His fingerprints matched, and he had luggage.
Yeah,
and upped his insurance policy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He he didn't willingly do that.
When was the lie detector invented? I don't even know that.
It's not court admissible anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The inventor of the lie detector came out years later and said it was the most bullshit invention ever. It's people that are like, oh, the lie detector test on Maury. It's like, yeah, the guy that invented it said it was dog shit. Like, just stop.
What's Maury? I'm just joking. I know what Maury is.
Darth Vader. Darth Vader. Jeez, man, I'm
right.
owing whatever tonight. Holy cow.
No, the Darth
everybody.
Vader got me. It took a couple seconds, but
Well, everybody that's been tuning in tonight, there's been several of you. It's been going up and down. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Vinny, thank you for not sending the link to your show or your book.
yeah.
I'll send it to Patrick, I guess. And thank you guys for being on the show tonight. It was a good episode, a little different, so a little more lighthearted and comical.
That was fun.
Yeah, good.
You know what? We should actually, we should start a brand new podcast called
Let's just add another one to the list, guys.
Yeah.
Called
Assholes from History.
Assholes from history.
Jesus Christ. We would never run out of episodes.
Oh
No.
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 So have you guys ever heard of Am I the Asshole?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a thread. We could do a spin-off of that. But I feel like we could just throw them on Singed Eye Socket.
That's fine. Singed asshole.
Singed assholes.
So the first episode will be a letter from a woman where it's like, okay, so my husband comes home every day from his appliance sales job, and I'm just so tired of living less than the people around us. And I let him know about it every day. Not to mention we got these 4 kids. Am I
I don't
the
know what
asshole?
happened. I told him if he wouldn't drown himself tomorrow, I wouldn't give a shit.
He went fishing 6 months ago.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much again for being a part of the show. And yeah, I kind of like that we're getting back on track with this show. You know, every like 2 weeks we're doing one. So
Sweet.
expect the next one to be gory and messed up, just like the rest of them. So,
Ooh,
Patrick, thank you for being a guest.
hey, if I'm available, I'll do that one too.
I'm sure you'll be available for the next one because you'll probably be off for a few more weeks for sure.
Yeah, I go middle of April is when I go.
Yeah, we'll get another one in before then. So, all right. Until next time, everybody. We will see you around. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Deuces.